I didn't know how long I had. Actually, I had more time. So when you look at your dog, the dog sitting in the kitchen waiting for you to come home, and the dog hears the car outside and it expects you to walk through the door. It's conditioned to be aware of those things, so it's aware, it's conscious of what's happening around it. If it hears a rustle outside, or it smells, or Watson smells something in the air, it's aware of its surrounding, intently, acutely aware. But the dog is sitting in the kitchen waiting for you and happy when you come home doesn't know I'm a dog and I'm happy. But it still has awareness, it still has consciousness. And we could take that all the way down to the most simplest forms of life. If you look at pictures of cells within the bodies, or parasites or phagocytes, they're exploring and interacting with the environment. They're seeking out what they're seeking. All cells are seeking to interact with life. Every neuron of the 100 billion neurons is seeking to fire or to inhibit, to grow new pathways, constantly seeking to grow new neural pathways. So every cell in the body, every form of life that exists wants to interact, is seeking to grow. And as we follow the course of life, as it's progressed, we see that this complexity arises. So this is complex systems theory. This no longer the idea that it all arose from some chance mutation, nature playing trick. Einstein said, God does not play tricks. God does not play tricks of the universe. So we see an unfolding. And we see this awareness as a force that binds the electron to the nucleus, that creates the covalent bond between atoms, creates molecules. We see this code, we see this activity in the cells to interact and to form more complex structures. And we see it all. So the point is that we're taking all of nature, all the resources, and they are limited. The world is getting smaller. It's called one reason that it is known that we were so successful is because 12,000 years ago, what started was something called, there's the epochs, like the Pleistocene, the blah 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 scene. Well, 12,000 years ago there was a Holocene, and what happened then was the Ice Age receded and the glaciers receded and allowed the perfect conditions for farming and agriculture, the temperate regions of the earth, so that mankind, in its search for complexity and sophistication, started to engage in mass agricultural efforts and endeavors. So we're in this age of the Holocene. It's very perfect for us, for humans, to thrive, and we see that humans evolved with great complexity. There was fits and starts with our evolution, but eventually, starting 40,000 years ago, we found language and art, and one technology after another, boom, boom, boom. And if we look at the last 50 or 60 years, what they're calling this epoch now is the Anthropocene, and Anthropos means man in Greek. So we're saying this is the age of man because there's no other force known right now that can affect the environment, the earth, have an effect on this organism. You can consider the earth as an organism, but there's no other greater effect than what mankind's effect. So what we're doing, although the resources are limited, we're churning, like putting everything through a processor. All the resources of the earth, the rainforest, the tundra, the wetlands, the ocean, everything, all the life's resources, the animals, the fish, the land, the soil for cattle grazing and things like that, all those issues, those environmental issues. We're taking the resources and we're just processing them, and then we're creating economic products, commodities, so that the humans can continue to grow and thrive and population increase and just keep consuming as if there's no end. So we see that in our case, in the human case, our evolution has gone past the point of any type of balance whatsoever. And if we continue on this path, those who deny it, who deny the finite nature of the resources that allow us to live healthy, clean air, fresh water, potable water, oceans of healthy algae that create, that transfer, that hold the carbon dioxide and release oxygen, our forests, everything, atmosphere, oceans, water. Those who deny the limitations they don't care. So those who don't care have their own agenda. They just want more of this lifestyle, more of the luxury, more production, more of this global capitalism that's taking over the world. We live in a world of global capitalism. And the entire globe now is linked in this network of global capitalism, of a market economy. The entire globe. So we have the natural resources, the natural wealth, which is the public domain, or what we call the commons, and then we have this market economy. So there's one that's feeding the other, just continually feeding the other, feeding this monster that we've created, this global market economy. And we can envision it as eventually the resources being depleted. So that's what he's talking about. So everything's connected. So in the Anthropocene today, we're having an effect on the earth that ultimately will be irreversible. Many scientists, very educated people, I mean the top scientists in the top research institutions, are saying this may become irreversible at some point. There's a tipping point. Just like if you kill one predator species, it disrupts the entire food chain, a trophic effect. So that the earth is overrun with herbivores, and then the herbivores eat the vegetation, and then the soil is eroded. So it's like this cascade effect, and that we're producing that on many parallel levels in areas around the earth, and that's what's happening. Basically, that's what he's talking about.